fact that maybe they shouldn't feel that way about you is more important than where they are? It's funny. Human nature. If I'm busy working on something and B comes up behind me and I accidentally pop her in the forehead with my elbow, I'm going to immediately turn around and say, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But when we hurt somebody's feelings accidentally, we sit there and go, why do they feel that way? I don't even understand why they feel that way. Who cares? The pain is still there. Why are we immediately saying, I'm sorry? Who cares if it was an accident? Who cares that you didn't mean to do it? Who cares that they maybe got the whole thing misconstrued? Who cares? I'm sorry. And once we understand that, we remove us. Now, I tell you something funny. Sometimes people won't think you're not sincere. I see plenty of time. My wife says, you owe me an apology. I'll say, okay, I'm sorry. You don't even know for what. I don't need to know for what. See, that's what we don't get. I don't need to know. If you feel I owe you an apology, you're going to get it. Seems like a simple concept to grasp for me. So I still have to show that grace. I still have to say, okay. But the apology ain't a problem. Wanting you to feel better is not the problem. To me, that's more important than knowing what I did. Once you feel better, we can go back and talk about what I did. Let's get you to a better place. So first thing, since I owe you an apology, I'm sorry. Because if my wife turns to me and says, I need $20, I'm going to give it to her and I'm going to ask why. Why is an apology so much more valuable to us? How much does it cost us to give? But we hold on to them like it's our social security number. Our coworker walked past, you owe me an apology. For what? Huh, whatever. It starts with our relationship here.
Amen.
Once we have a better relationship here, then we have a better relationship here.
Amen.
Once we have a better relationship here, co-worker, strangers, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's true.
Because I know for a fact, if I'm okay with the fact that my wife was wondering where I was when I was getting that carton of milk, and I'm sure not going to worry about what Luann at work is thinking about me. You see what I'm saying? But if I can let what my wife thinks about me frustrate me, Luann is going to frustrate me. Joe the bus driver is going to frustrate me. That person that cut me off in traffic is going to frustrate me. How dare they? Who am I? Who am I? Our relationship has to be a compassion. I'm sorry, Joe the bus driver. I'm sorry, person that cut me off in traffic that I was driving too slow. Whatever it is, we have to change our mindset. Because it is not about us. I want to give you an example. If you would, go ahead to Luke 10. We're going to start at verse 25. Luke 10, verse 25. And it reads, and behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? Him said unto him, what is written in the law? How readest thou? And he answered and said, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live. But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Jesus, let me read 29 again. But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Jesus, And who is my neighbor? And Jesus answered, said, A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment, and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. He got mugged and he got jacked, okay? All right, let's keep it so we know what's going on, okay? And he's laying in the street. And by chance, there came down a certain priest that way, and he saw him, and he passed by on the other side. Means that the priest saw him, said, ain't none of my business. I don't even know that cat. And likewise, a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed on the other side of the street. One of his own. Said, dude, sucks for you. Sorry. I'm going to keep it moving. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, had compassion on him, and went to him, and bound up his wounds, poured oil and wine, and set him on his beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. And on morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence, and gave them to the host, and said unto him, Take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now these 3, thinkest thou, was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And he said, He that showed mercy on him. Jesus said unto him, Go, and do thou likewise. Does this sound like a suggestion from Jesus? Okay, understand. At what point did the Samaritan say, how'd this happen to you? What happened? Well, you should have been going down that street. At what point did the Samaritan show judgment into why that person was there? At what point do we have to figure out what kind of relationship the Samaritan had with that person? We have to understand that we have a responsibility. I don't even remember the Samaritan trying to figure out his name. He took up this guy, tried to bandage him up the best he can, put him on his beast. Same as us taking somebody all blood jacked up and all that and putting them in our car. Yeah, had to think about that for a minute, huh? So, wait a minute. Not gonna lay something down on the seat first? No. Total compassion. Took him to the end. It's evident. It's not like he was a wealthy guy. Because he said, hey, look, take this, and if you spend more, I'll come back and repay you. You know, a wealthy person would just drop the stack. Bam! There you go. I got it. No. But he had the compassion. And then here goes the real big thing, because this is the biggest problem we have in today's society. What makes us think for a minute that Samaritan had nowhere else to go? What makes us think for a minute Samaritan was just like, oh yeah, there's somebody I can help? No, he was heading somewhere. And I'm sure what he had to stop to do was an inconvenience. Because if he had all the time in the world, why would he have had to leave to come back? I would help that person, but I'm on my way somewhere. Somebody else will stop. Everybody has somewhere to go. There's nobody out there just riding around. We all have somewhere to go. Being a Christian, being right in a relationship is about inconveniences. And if we can have this mindset with a stranger, what kind of mindset will we have with our relationship at home? What kind of compassion, what kind of grace will we be willing to give at home if we can have this kind of mindset with a stranger? Reached out his hand immediately. It's not about us. And we have to stop taking things so personal when people feel a certain way. Because where they are is where they are. You only go there with them when you draw into that and start talking. We have to stay where we are. We have to stay committed to God and His expectation. Because when we show that kind of commitment, we receive that kind of commitment. Amen? And I have a question. What is relationship without commitment? Amen. Amen. But we have to be willing to be committed. Committed to God. Committed to His standard on how we treat others. Committed to His standard of compassion. Stop believing what you have to say is more important. Stop believing what you feel is more important. Because you best believe Jesus knew who He was. So you don't have to worry about what Peter thought. Let me comfort you. Now after you're comforted, after I gave you that hand of peace, why did you doubt? Let me help you grow. He didn't judge him. He didn't persecute him. No. Gave him the opportunity to grow. I'm going to bring you a peace, and I'm going to give you something to think about. Why did you feel that way? He's showing us how to have compassion. Not let other people dictate us. We are where we are. We have to walk with it. We have to talk with it. We have to continue to be it. It's not about us. When we get out of us, our relationships will grow. Let me do this in order, because I'm all about order. When we get out of us, our relationship will grow. And then our relationships will grow. Amen.